This is the most important thing you will hear about usefulness this year. There is a chance that this change will affect how people around the world view risk and financial management. You will comprehend why the global banking system is preparing for a period of change that has never been seen in modern history. It is going to be a big event for companies, investors, and even regular people if you are aware of what is happening behind the scenes. The market for derivatives is worth $1. The biggest, most intricate, and most systemically significant market ever created is worth $2 quadrillion. At the same time, it is going through a quiet technological revolution driven by recent developments in blockchain and digital infrastructure. The fundamentals of international banking will be drastically changed by this upheaval. One influential group that has authority over how swaps are resolved, how they operate, and how they are handled is the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, or ISDA, which they move throughout the global financial system. It is crucial to keep the markets reliable and stable. It is in charge of creating rules that affect trillions of dollars worth of transactions and the great majority of the biggest financial institutions in the world. Now, the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, or ISDA, is openly calling for a shift to settlement infrastructure that is easier to design, more cost-effective, safe, and efficient. They understand that they need to take immediate action. 4. Making sure everything is current. Due to its inability to meet the demands of today's interconnected marketplaces, the old system is collapsing. Settlement delays, which can last for several days, continue to inconvenience people and slow down the flow of money. The situation is made even more inefficient and risky by slow confirmation processes and the dozens of middlemen holding collateral hostage. Every area of the global market is susceptible to counterparty risk, which is forcing the outdated financial system to its limits and demonstrating the urgent need for significant reforms. This is made clear by the ICDA. The future needs to be secure, tokenized, quick, and compatible with other systems. This is a must. This is something you must do. Additionally, if you consider that there are many different blockchain technologies available, you will discover that only one can consistently meet the demands of the derivatives market. That technology is known as the XRP ledger on an industrial scale. The derivatives market needs everything it has, including the following: the capacity for real-time settlement, predictable finality, cross-asset interoperability, regulatory alignment, and low-cost throughput of institutional quality. No, this isn't just a white paper vision, a concept, or a plan. We are talking about the actual settlement technique that has been applied in combat. Now, think about what may happen if even a small portion of the $1.2 quadrillion futures market were to be converted into tokens. Imagine a world where swaps, futures, and options could be resolved in a matter of seconds instead of days. Furthermore, think about how much faster collateral could move if it weren't trapped in outdated clearinghouses. Imagine having the capability to instantly, and without any problems, resolve hazards valued at trillions of dollars across multiple countries. The world needs a bridge asset that can handle a huge volume of transactions without going bankrupt in order for that kind of future to materialize. No, Bitcoin is unable to achieve this. Ethereum is unable to achieve this. That kind of growth would be impossible for stable coins to handle without incurring undue risk. However, because it provides easy accessibility, low fees, and speedy transactions, XRP was created especially for this use. At this point, the story starts to make no sense to those who haven't done the math. More XRP cannot be produced. Consequently, when it is applied to settle a $4 trillion market, the price targets that consumers turn into a reality that was once mocked. The sums of $100, $1,000, and even $10,000 start to feel embarrassingly inadequate. Payments require cash flow, and utility requires value. Yet, tokenization must be able to grow. To satisfy the system's demands, the price will have to go up. It is not a fanciful thought if XRP even somewhat replaces other methods as the main way to settle international swaps. This is how liquidity works. Value must be transmitted quickly and effectively in vast quantities in a world where everything is a token. Depending on how much the object thesis being settled is worth, the settlement amount may rise. During periods of low pricing, XRP is unable to handle daily liquidity flows worth trillions of dollars. On the other hand, XRP is the right tool to employ in institutional settlements when its price is high. This is why a number of experts, academics, and fintech developers have predicted that XRP will reach previously unheard of heights as a result of the tokenization of derivatives. This will be necessary for the system to operate. This is not just a theory. Furthermore, we ought to talk about the change that is occurring right now. Banks are going through a process of updating their back-end tools. High-ranking officials are getting ready to handle digital assets. Authorities are creating frameworks designed especially for tokenized deposits, tokenized assets, and tokenized derivatives. Settlement networks like SWIFT are changing over time. In order to, entire financial paths are being redesigned to allow them to collaborate. The vast majority of investors seem to be unable to understand the extent to which the entire world is getting ready for tokenization. Furthermore, the ISDA is working to become the industry standard for using blockchain settlement rails. Given that the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, or ISDA, is the body that creates the rules governing the derivatives market, this is a serious problem. Over several years, Ripple has worked with government agencies, banks, and other businesses. There is just one truth that can be found in each and every pilot, relationship, and integration. You are unable to make informed predictions regarding the future because to the XRP system. It was built to withstand the weight of the banking system that is utilized by all nations worldwide. As soon as that mechanism is engaged, XRP becomes absolutely essential. The instant that swaps are converted into tokens and that collateral is moved, is automated, and in a matter of seconds, that danger is eliminated. It is the throbbing center of a digital financial system where value flows more slowly than information. To answer the question, you must decide if you are holding onto XRP because you think its price will rise in the future or because you understand the potential benefits it will have for the global banking industry. Are you here to participate in the tokenization era, which will revolutionize how value is settled globally, or are you here to profit from the current speculative boom? The big banks are failing to get ready to function in a market where meme currencies will be commonplace. Instead, they are getting ready to function in an economy where real assets will be settled on real ledgers with real liquidity. The derivatives market is the biggest market globally. The settlement asset that underpins that infrastructure will undergo a demand shock unlike anything else in financial history when it chooses to adopt tokenization. Pants.